In the heart of a bustling city, where the streets hummed with the rhythm of life, there stood a grand restaurant known as the Golden Haven. Its tall windows framed a world of elegance, with chandeliers casting a warm, golden glow over polished tables and plush velvet chairs. On this particular Friday, October 24, 2025, at 10:16 a.m. PKT, the air was thick with anticipation. The occasion was a reunion of old friends, a celebration of bonds that had weathered time and distance. Among them was Jide, a man with an infectious laugh and a red cap that had become his signature over the years. He sat at the head of a long table, his eyes crinkling with joy as he surveyed the familiar faces around him. The group had not gathered like this in over a decade. There was Kwame, the quiet accountant with a sharp wit, dressed in a sleek suit that mirrored his meticulous nature. Beside him sat Tunda, the charismatic storyteller whose laughter could light up the darkest room, his tie slightly askew from his animated gestures. Then there was Aisha, the poised lawyer who had flown in from across the continent, her presence a testament to the strength of their friendship. And finally, Nia, the server who had worked at the Golden Haven for years, her black and white uniform a symbol of her quiet dedication. She moved gracefully between tables, her tray balanced with precision, carrying glasses of rich red wine that promised to elevate the mood. Jide raised a blue pen, a quirky prop he'd carried since their university days, and pointed it at his friends like a conductor's baton. To the nights we stayed up debating philosophy, the mornings we scrambled for notes, and the years we've missed each other, he declared, his voice booming over the hum of conversation. The table erupted in laughter and cheers, the sound blending with the clink of glasses as Nia set down the wine. Kwame nodded approvingly, adjusting his tie, while Tunda slapped the table, nearly knocking over a glass of orange juice that had been placed earlier. Aisha raised an eyebrow, her lawyer's instinct kicking in to mediate the chaos, but her smile betrayed her amusement. The meal began with a platter of golden fried plantains, a nod to their shared heritage. Jide dug in with gusto, the crunch echoing his enthusiasm, while Tunda regaled them with a tale of his latest adventure, a trip to a remote village where he'd accidentally joined a local dance competition. I had no idea what I was doing, he admitted, miming awkward steps that sent the table into hysterics. Kwame interjected with a dry comment about Tunda's lack of rhythm, prompting Aisha to recount a memory of their college dance-offs, where Tunda's moves had been the stuff of legend and ridicule. The stories flowed like the wine, each one peeling back layers of time to reveal the essence of their friendship. Nia watched from the sidelines, her tray now empty as she prepared to bring more drinks. She had seen countless groups come and go, but there was something special about this one. Their laughter was genuine, their connection palpable. She remembered Jide from years ago, a regular who'd tipped generously and always asked about her day. Back then, he'd been a struggling student, his red cap a cheap purchase from a street vendor. Now, he carried himself with the confidence of success, though his warmth remained unchanged. She wondered about the stories behind the others, the threads that had woven them together across continents and careers. As the morning turned to afternoon, the conversation deepened. Aisha spoke of her work defending underprivileged communities, her voice steady but tinged with exhaustion. It's rewarding, she said, but sometimes I wonder if I'm making a difference. Kwame reached across the table, placing a hand on hers. You are, he said simply, his quiet assurance a balm to her doubts. Tunda leaned in, his eyes bright with inspiration. Why not start a foundation? We could all chip in, use our skills to build something lasting. The idea hung in the air, a seed planted in the fertile ground of their reunion. Jide, ever the dreamer, seized the moment. He stood, pen in hand, and sketched a rough plan on a napkin: fundraising events, legal support from Aisha, financial oversight from Kwame, and Tunda's knack for rallying people. This could be our legacy, he said, his voice thick with emotion. The table fell silent, the weight of possibility settling over them. Nia, overhearing, paused with a fresh tray of orange juice. She set it down gently, her contribution small but significant, a silent endorsement of their vision. The afternoon stretched into evening, the chandeliers, glow softening as the city outside dimmed. They ordered more food: jollof rice, grilled fish, and spicy stews, each dish a celebration of their roots. Tunda led an impromptu toast, his voice rising above the clatter of plates. To friendship, to dreams, and to never letting go. Glasses clinked, wine and juice mingling in a symphony of commitment. Aisha proposed a name for their foundation, Haven's Hope, a tribute to the restaurant that had brought them together. The name stuck, etched into their hearts as the night wore on. But the joy was not without its shadows. As the hours passed, old wounds surfaced. Kwame admitted to a recent divorce, his voice breaking as he spoke of lost trust. Tunda confessed to a failed business venture, his usual bravado fading. Aisha revealed the toll of her work, the sleepless nights and lonely victories. Jide listened, his pen still, his laughter replaced by a steady presence. He shared his own struggle, years of chasing success only to feel unfulfilled. The table grew quiet, the weight of their vulnerabilities binding them closer. Nia, clearing plates, overheard their confessions. She felt a pang of connection, her own life marked by quiet sacrifices, supporting her family, working long shifts. She returned with dessert, a rich chocolate cake, and a shy smile. "You all remind me why I stay here," she said softly. "This place is more than a job, it's hope." Her words lingered, a thread weaving her into their story. Jide invited her to join them, pulling up a chair. She hesitated, then sat, her uniform a stark contrast to their suits, yet her presence fitting perfectly. The night deepened, and with it, their resolve. They refined their plan, sketching details on napkins and coasters. Aisha would draft the legal framework, Kwame would manage the finances, Tunda would lead outreach, and Jide would be the heart, inspiring others. Nia offered to coordinate with local businesses, her knowledge of the community a valuable asset. They laughed at the absurdity of their napkin blueprint, but the laughter was laced with determination. By midnight, they had a rough timeline, 6 months to launch Haven's Hope. As the restaurant emptied, they lingered, reluctant to part. The staff began to clean, but Nia waved them off, insisting they stay. The chandeliers dimmed, casting long shadows, yet the table remained a beacon of light. Jide raised his pen one last time, sketching a heart around their names on the napkin. "This is us," he said. "Forever." They nodded, tears mingling with smiles, the weight of their promise settling into their bones. The next morning, the city awoke to a new day, unaware of the pact made at the Golden Haven. But for Jide, Kwame, Tunda, Aisha, and Nia, the world had shifted. Their reunion had been more than a feast. It was a rebirth, a commitment to each other and to a cause greater than themselves. The red cap, the blue pen, the wine, the juice, all became symbols of a night that would echo through their lives. Months passed, and Haven's Hope took shape. Aisha's legal expertise secured funding, Kwame's calculations kept them on track, Tunda's charisma drew supporters, and Jide's vision inspired action. Nia bridged the gap with the community, her quiet strength a cornerstone. The foundation grew, touching lives, healing wounds, and building hope. And every year, on October 24th, they returned to the Golden Haven, their table a shrine to that first joyful feast, their laughter a testament to enduring friendship. Imagine a single night where laughter turns into a lifelong promise, a feast that sparks a movement. Dive into the heartwarming tale of a joyful feast among friends, where 5 souls rediscover their bond and ignite a foundation that changes lives. Want to follow their journey and be part of the inspiration? Subscribe now to unlock exclusive updates and stories that uplift the spirit.